Hello, this is a video announcement letting you know a few things and a few reminders. First, just as a reminder of what's going on this week, you are submitting a blog post this week where you're providing a one-page outline based on the module where I modeled a possible outline structure for your inquiry project. And then an additional in the same blog post outline / word vomit, however works best for you for your design part of your writing assessment. So be reminded that that is due on the blog post by February 15th. In your weekly check-in surveys, I noticed that some people were having a hard time, quote, seeing the blog. So let me just show you a few things. Things will show up here as blog posts, and explanations and details can be found once you click on what you're interested in. And then once people post, you click under your name, which will show up over here on the right, and then you can click on the list of names that are below it. So I see Sarah Ann posted, so if I wanted to go and find out more about what she posted, I could click her name right there. I hope that helps you understand the process for blog posts. Another new thing that you'll see this week is I have set up a spot on the left-hand menu called Q&A. That is actually the discussion forum, and I've started a forum called Weekly Q&A, and I've asked you to use this forum to ask questions, post comments on anything related to the module. It was brought to my attention, which makes total sense, that sometimes you had questions about something I was saying or something you were listening to or reading about related to the module, but you didn't really have a place to ask me about it. The forum or the Google Plus community seemed a little too busy for that and maybe didn't quite fit into your weekly musing. So I created this place. It is an absolutely optional space to use, so I want to make that clear. But if you do want to post a question, you would click onto the forum, click Create Thread, and then I just ask that in the subject area you label clearly what it is you're referencing. So let's say it's something for this coming week. So it might be module on assessment. And then you would type in your question or your comments or your thoughts and then click Submit when you're ready. You're also able to upload attachment if that was something you were interested in doing. So I wanted to make sure you noticed that. Now moving on to this coming week, which is now available, week 6. We are right in the middle of February. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. So an overview of what we're trying to do this week is to recognize ideas of assessment, specifically formative and summative types of assessment, to develop strategies for integrating formative and summative assessments in order to evaluate and respond to writing, to develop strategies for effective writing assignment design, that's continued from last week, and recognize the role, purpose, and audience play in planning and evaluating any written piece. So the first ways that we launch our weeks is through our reading, and so you have a common reading, writing assessment position statement, which is prepared by 4Cs, the Conference on College Composition and Communication, and clicking this link will take you to that statement. And then you have your group reading that is listed in the bullet here and then also on the Google spreadsheet. You will participate in your weekly musing just like you did last week. You will post your initial weekly musing in a traditional black words on the white screen format, and then you have the choice to respond either multimodally or through a traditional black words on a white screen as well. There are 2 modules this week. Module 1 is going to provide you detailed instructions on the reading and the post, and then you'll see several short videos. Here are the instructions on the reading and some overview about the article on assessment. And then here are the short videos. They are roughly altogether about 16 minutes in length. You might anticipate about 30 minutes total. You'll notice that the one on the bottom just started on its own, so you might have to hit pause. Before each video, I provide you with a quick overview about the topic and what it is, and then occasionally I will provide you with a prompt or a question. You can use your daybook to answer that question as you're listening or after. And then this one, you are not able to make it large on this particular screen, so I provided you the link here if you would like to view that full screen. I also wanted you to know that this was created on educreations.com, which is a cool website if you're interested in learning more about it. In Module 2 for this week, I go over some specific examples of handouts, so assessment samples, how professors create the handouts they use in their classes in order to communicate a writing assignment design and the assessment. If there are any of these files that I referenced that you would like as a copy of, please email me and I'd be glad to share those with you, or you can ask on Google+. Then there's a video on backwards design, which is a common and effective way to think about designing an assignment. It's expected that through these two videos, the evidence of participation will show up and that you will hopefully be able to incorporate some of the ideas in your writing assignment design. And some of you are creating lots of different types of design, from a traditional classroom assignment to a workshop for colleagues in your workplace. But all of these things can be applied no matter what the setting. And then finally, after you have worked through both modules, particularly the videos, and done daybook work, you then need to prepare your writing assignment design, the design phase, or submission onto the Turnitin link on our Blackboard page. This particular page provides you with an overview of what you need to include in that document that you submit. So read through it carefully and slowly, and remember that there are examples of final submissions for the writing assignment design, but they should give you an idea of what you might turn in this particular week. You can use these headings, so rationale and overview, to format the document that you submit. And so for each one, I try to remind you of what might go into a rationale or overview, and then I provide you with an example from different students, past students writing assignment designs. So rationale and overview is helping define the importance of the approach that you're taking and why you're choosing to do it the way you're doing, and the content and the subject. Context is who is explaining who the audience is for this, so that might be discussion of subject and grade level, that might be discussion of the audience, who's going to be sitting in your workshop, etc. Goals and objectives and standards, those are also going to vary, and I give you some ideas on how you might make a decision for creating those. And then also an example of objectives from a previous writing assignment design. Then in the document, we need to see the actual design. So this would be the handout or the instructions or the materials / plans that you would actually be giving to your audience, so whether that's students, colleagues, etc. And then what is your plan for assessment? How are you going to know that your audience has met the goals and objectives as you have laid them out? So this is encouraging you to use rubrics, although that's not required, but we do need to see some effort towards assessment. In addition, you will need to include a reflective letter, just giving me some ideas on how you're feeling about this piece and if there are any issues that you may have. How will you be assessed on this particular submission? Remember that this is a 3-phase assignment, so I will use the design elements of the WAD rubric to give you feedback, and I provide you with a link to remind you of that. However, because there are 2 additional phases for this piece, there is an opportunity to sort of overpower this initial design grade, if that makes sense. So don't feel too much pressure to have it all together, so to speak, for this first phase of the overall writing assignment design, but do know that it is going to receive feedback and a ranking grade, a numerical grade. And when you are ready to submit, I provide you the link down here at the bottom. It's also listed under the assignments portion of our course website under Writing Assignment Design. The link here to submit. I know I went over a lot for this particular announcement and video, so please email me if you have any questions. I appreciated all of your check-in survey feedback. It looks like we're going to keep chugging along as we are, with the exception of some addition of a Q&A section. Some suggestions that people have done that I found that are helpful are that people like to print off the opening checklist and kind of check things off as they complete them to keep themselves organized. Someone asked, do I understand correctly that we start with our weekly we read, we post our weekly musing on Monday, then we respond to our peers on Wednesday, and then the remainder of the week can be used for watching the modules, working through the modules, and then usually there's some kind of submission like a blog post on Sunday or this coming week, your Writing Assignment Design. And yes, that is the general format and schedule. But please always check here. This is kind of like our weekly agenda. We also appreciated the On the Horizon line, so I added that. You will be asked to update us on where you are next week, not this week, for your inquiry project. That's not due until Sunday, March 1st, but I did go ahead and provide that link. This will be a place where you might find yourself wanting to post more frequently than what I actually require you to do, to provide yourself with some accountability for the assignments and just moving forward with them. I hope that helps. Please email me if you have any questions.